Hello, everyone. You're watching All About the W, your weekly deep dive into the WSL stat stories and standout performances. Let's break it all down. My name is Kai, and as always, I'm joined by Ash. Ash and I are here to review the League Cup fixtures that happened yesterday. So, which means this is all about the match day, where we will be discussing the two semifinals of the League Cup. Um, listen, we want to make this probably try and make this short and sweet, but I think one match was slightly more exciting than the other. Ash.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I bit the bullet because you were watching the Chelsea game. You were going to watch the Chelsea game, I thought. So I was like, oh, I will watch the United versus Arsenal game. And oh my God, I feel like I knew it was going to be frustrating because the previous WSL fixture had been so frustrating.
Hmm.
But like it was raining and it was frustrating, and I was also cold here. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is torture.
And I was fast asleep because I was like, it's 12:30 a.m. I just did not want to stay up and watch a League Cup game. I was like, I'll catch up on it the next day. And yeah, I mean, fortunately, we won, which means, yeah, it's just easier to rewatch the game. If you lose, it just makes it all the more like bitter.
Yeah, fair. But I'm guessing you rewatched on in the morning. So I'm going to ask you about the Chelsea game first. Man
Yeah.
City versus Chelsea ended 0-1 to Chelsea. Captain scored in the 41st minute with a header, a totally unmarked header.
Hmm.
Uh, Kai, how did you feel about this game?
Yeah, I thought, listen, extremely lucky to have not conceded. I mean, I wouldn't say like we were lucky to have won the game because I still feel like had they scored a goal, maybe we had a little bit more in us to maybe get a winner or whatever. But uh, I still feel like, yeah, extremely lucky to not have conceded that goal because Manchester City had so many chances. Um, like some were just handed to them on a platter. There were a couple that went off the woodwork. Both the shots that went off the woodwork were just so sweetly struck. The Kasparai one on the volley was just beautiful, and same with the Miedema one. I think she tried to go for the bottom corner and it sort of goes off the post. But even beyond that, there were some headers here and there that maybe City could have done better with. I mean, I'm sure like Chelsea are absolutely delighted with this performance.
Yeah, I think one thing, if you have to like credit Chelsea's defense for, would be the performance of Hannah Hampton. I thought, there was that one shot she saved. I think Hasagawa or someone
Yeah,
from distance where it went like she like put it over the
yeah. Tipped over
bar,
the bar.
and then
Yeah,
there was this other one where she was a little off balance and she still managed to like get it off, like
yeah.
somehow get it off, and it went over the bar again. And there were two three other like places where, because there was at one time when Bunny Shaw was running in that she totally misjudged,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Bunny Shaw managed to get past her. Luckily there were two defenders there who
Hmm.
did enough.
Yeah.
But overall I think Hannah Hampton definitely like saved the day a little bit for Chelsea. I
Yeah,
do think.
I thought Hampton had a really good game. Like, I mean, no, that's not true because there were two like sweeper moments where she completely missed the ball. Like, there's another moment where Hannah kind of goes the ball, which is at Bunny Shaw's feet, and Bunny Shaw manages to pass the ball to Miedema, like sort of lay
Yeah,
it off to Miedema, which what then hits the post. I think
yeah,
that's a shot that hits the post. So even that, I think Hannah Hampton got away with one, but like the saves were good, but I also feel like those are saves that you expect her to make, but you need to make them, right?
yeah.
A lot of them were straight at her. Like for me, I thought in terms of defensive performance, I thought both Baltimore as well as Gurma. Gurma in
Yeah,
particular was just exceptional. You know, Bronze and Bright looked so shaky next to her,
yeah,
um, and she did not lose her composure once in the game. She was just full on like cleanup job that she was just
yeah.
constantly doing, and yeah, I think she and Bright sort of dealt with Bunny Shaw well enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, I think defensively, probably credit to, like you said, Hampton, and also Kerma and Baltimore as well. Like
Yeah.
the thing that I've liked about you, I was rewatching this match and like how good Baltimore was, and I remembered.
Yeah, you know what? Like Baltimore, she got the assist in this game.
Mhm.
Plus, she almost managed to score. Plus, she put in like a defensive performance. And
Yeah.
I feel like have you noticed that the last 2 3 games she's just gone back to Baltimore of last season a
Yeah,
little
so I
bit?
was just gonna say that. So, like, I was watching this game, and the sort of thing that came to my mind is, if you remember, in the Everton game, Baltimore put two corners out of play back to back.
Yeah,
They were just poor corners, and like, so they cut to Sonia, and Sonia was shouting like, "That's like the second time you're putting it out." And I feel like
yeah,
since
yeah,
that moment, like we've got our old Baltimore back, because since then
yeah.
she scored against Brighton. Like, she's looked pretty good, and yeah, I do think she's coming into form at the right time. And I
Yeah,
think the other thing is she also crossed the ball with her right foot for the
yeah,
goal, which is again, like I always think of her left-footedness as, like, as in, like, not being two-footed as one of the weaknesses that Baltimore has. But
yeah,
in the
yeah,
last few weeks, she's managed to score a banger with her right foot, like get a pretty good assist. Like the cross was like absolutely spot on
yeah,
for the
yeah,
goal. So yeah, Baltimore definitely looked solid. And the thing that makes me really, it never ceases to amaze me, is how Baltimore can like turn in like the tightest spaces. Like,
yeah,
her hold up play is so good. She's just really good at using her body to keep hold of the ball. It's just something that's really nice. But I will say, one of the things that's bothering me about the setup that Chelsea has is, see, now you have Sam Kerr back, right?
yeah,
Um, and Sam Kerr's strength, I would say one of her biggest strengths is her aerial ability. And I
yeah,
feel like we need to start using our wide players to cross the ball in more. I feel like we're
yeah,
just not doing it enough. Even with
yeah,
Baltimore, what tends to happen is Baltimore, when she gets the ball, um, tends to like go more centrally,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah,
doesn't find herself with a lot of space to cross.
yeah,
And Thompson is like making like an overlapping run or whatever. She's
yeah,
on the outside, and she doesn't cross very well with her left foot. So I feel like that is something Chelsea maybe need to figure out, because
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, I just think
I
if
mean, on the other side, I did think Carpenter crossed it in. Was it? I feel like once, definitely, more than once.
yeah, I think Carpenter did cross, but also Carpenter had a very bad game. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
probably the worst I've seen her play in a Chelsea shirt. And I looked at her stats, and she had like a 58% pass accuracy.
yeah, yeah.
And for a
Yeah,
defender,
do you think Carpenter is better as a fullback than a wingback?
mm,
Because as a wingback, she has to be the primary. Like she is a goal scoring threat, but she's also like a player that is used to sort of like bombing back and forth. So she is
yeah,
now not expected to be the primary winger in that situation.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
now in this sort of thing, the wingback is essentially like Baltimore a winger as well in
Yeah,
some
I
ways.
think, see, what you like, the places where you need Ellie Carpenter, right? Like, where you need Ellie Carpenter is either pick up the ball centrally and drive forward, beat a couple of players, and like you need like Carpenter at the widest possible place, so that
Yeah,
she can actually cross the ball in, because that's a decent skill she has. But
yeah,
like, attack wise, she is a bit of a one trick pony in my opinion.
yeah,
She doesn't have a whole lot in her locker to deal with. So crosses, cutbacks, yes, but when Carpenter comes inside, cuts inside more centrally, then you lose your attacking momentum, because she's simply not very good on the ball. Like,
yeah,
she doesn't dribble well. Her ball control is not great. Sometimes when she's actually carrying the ball, the end product of that final pass doesn't look uh, up to scratch. So those are things that maybe, like, Chelsea need to iron out, like where you want your players to be and what exactly their roles are. Because even
yeah,
yesterday, I felt like Sam Kerr was very isolated. Which,
yeah,
okay, fair enough, in a 3-5-2, the kind of setup you're trying to play. Sam did drop in deep to pick up the ball and things like that. And I think the idea was to lay it off to Thompson and maybe, like, follow up that with a run. But
Yeah.
yeah, I felt like Sam was isolated and Thompson just, she did a lot. Like, her
Yeah.
work rate was incredible, but she did like nothing, um, notable, so to speak, nothing game changing. And
Yeah.
like somebody like an Alyssa Thompson, you expect to be a game changer. But part
Yeah.
of that I will credit with Jade Rose, who
Yeah.
I, honest to God, did not realize she was actually that fast, because
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of the time she kept pace with Thompson, which not many defenders can do.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, that
I
was,
must admit that right side for City, Rose and Kasparai, they look good. They look really good. I mean, the entire City backline looks good, but apart from that one goal in which Jade Rose forgot to mark captain, and
yeah.
on the other side of captain was Sam Kerr. I was like, pick one and mark either. No,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
mark
so they were
neither.
both unmarked. That's what. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what. That's when you realize, okay, they've completely switched off here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, coming to City and them switching off, I think
yeah.
there was, it was, like, I'm wondering, in the predictions episode, I said something to the effect of, um I don't know if I trust that City don't have that weak underbelly, and I felt like in this game, like obviously things were not working out. Uh, there were two opportunities where Bunny Shaw was just through on goal almost,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "Oh, this is a goal! This is a goal!" I cannot imagine Bunny Shaw missing, but Bunny Shaw like missed in that clutch moment. I mean, to be fair, the second one there were two defenders on Bunny Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
Then like Miedema, like there was this header that Miedema missed. That Miedema hit the post.
Yeah.
Gasparai hit the post. Miedema, I think, once more didn't hit the post, but like it sent the ball astray a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there were just so many opportunities, and I was just astounded that City didn't get a goal. And I'm wondering if it's like just bad luck, because I did think that they won the midfield battle. I thought
Yeah.
they were like, I I mean, this is City's strongest 11, right? Like not counting transfers and how that will change the team. This is City's
Yeah, I guess
strongest 11.
maybe except for that right wing position, because I don't think Clinton was very good. So Carolyn is out as well as Fujino. So maybe that is a bit of a drop off. I would say simply because Clinton is better centrally, not because she's not a good player.
But yeah, you're right. Of
Yeah.
course, that's because like Fujino is also out.
Yeah.
So I get that. But like of the
More or
fit
less.
players,
Absolutely.
more
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
less. Um, and I'm wondering why, like, and it's not like Chelsea are at their best. I'm not saying Chelsea are bad, but Chelsea are not at their like flying best. I
Mm.
did think this was two teams competing at the top. Like in terms of like the game itself, the quality of football, I thought it
Yeah.
was an excellent game. Like I thought that both teams were doing the best they could possibly do. I
Yeah.
just felt like, like it's mark of champion sort of situation where Chelsea have been there, done that. I mean, not that City have not won cups before, but like Chelsea are just such a perennial winner of things that you just expect them when they get an opportunity like this to eventually put it to bed. And
Yeah.
I just felt like City didn't have the same energy. They were trying, they kept trying, and they had so many cool, like amazing opportunities that they created themselves. And
Yeah.
like there were points of time where I thought that like they were literally running rings around the Chelsea midfield, and they did nothing with it.
Yeah.
So uh, I appreciated that they won the midfield battle, and I
Mm.
appreciate how good Hasagaba, Blinkilda, Brown, and Miedema are in those positions. Of course, assisted somewhat by Lauren Hemp. I thought Lauren Hemp had a good game.
Mm.
Um, but I just feel like they always fall short like this, and it's so disappointing because you're like, clearly y'all are amazing footballers. Like how can you lose the semi-final? It would have been amazing to have a all Manchester final,
Yeah, yeah, it
like.
would have been like I went to sleep thinking, like last night I went to sleep thinking that I'd wake up to like an all Manchester final news. But here we
Yeah.
are. No, I think so. I don't want to read into this too much and like
Yeah.
call me cynical, but if I was a City player, I would take a lot of positives away from that game.
Yeah.
Um, I thought UE was okay in this game. Blinkilde Brown was very good in this game.
Yeah. Very good.
She was probably the best player for City on the day. And uh, I just, I think it's easy to read too much into this game because City struggle when it comes to situations where it's a must win, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that year after year. For me, what sets this game apart slightly from those is that they actually did turn up and they played good
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
I think there are minor tweaks that I would make if I was Yeglert, and I'll probably talk about it a little bit as well. But yeah, I think City, if I was City, I'd probably go back home thinking this is just one of those
Yeah.
games. It's just one of those days. And
Yeah, yeah.
I
It is
think,
one of those days. Like, look at this Chelsea. Big chances, one, taken, one.
yeah,
City, big chances, five, missed,
missed five.
five.
Yeah.
You know,
That is
it just,
literally sums up the game, right? I think so. What City need to do is now, obviously, they're out of this FA Cup. We'll see how it unfolds. But what they need to sort of not lose sight of is the league,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now,
I think maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
yeah, maybe it is. Maybe like as a team that's not playing Champions League, maybe you're a bit annoyed. This is like an opportunity to get silverware.
Yeah,
But whatever. But like the point is, you're playing Chelsea literally the next weekend, right? Not this
yeah,
coming weekend, but the next weekend. So by then, like say by next Saturday, what you're gonna have is pretty much you are in a position where you can kind of fully stamp your name on the WSL title.
yeah,
And with this performance, I don't, yes, it's deflating, it's really frustrating and disappointing. But I also feel like they'll think that, oh, hey, we actually created so much against Chelsea. We're going to
yeah,
play at home yet again.
yeah.
And you have to go into that game with like a positive attitude.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I really do hope that they figure this out
Yeah.
and maybe not play Clinton there. Uh,
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to talk about City, like in terms of the tweak, like yes, I thought Lauren Hemp had a really good game. She looked really lively throughout the
yeah,
game. The only thing I feel is we've spoken a little bit about City's fluidity, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like for example, in this game, what you saw a lot was Hemp moving into central positions and
yeah,
Hasagawa going out wide, for example,
yeah, yeah,
in like very advanced position, like in position of a left winger, right?
yeah,
So, like for me, I feel like they need to take a step back and keep it simple
yeah,
because Lauren Hemp is has one of the best left foot in
yeah,
like the WSL. She is an excellent crosser of the ball, and you
yeah,
have one of the best strikers in the box. Keep it
yeah, yeah,
simple. You
yeah,
don't need to like push Yui out wide, make her
yeah,
cross
yeah,
in. Like it's just for me, it's just not necessary. And of
yeah,
course, like like for because of fluidity, it happens once or twice. Like
yeah,
fair enough, and that's important. Like you need to keep your opponents on their toes for sure. But at the
yeah,
same time, like Hemp occupying the central position so often, I feel you're taking away from her strength than
yeah, yeah.
just
Fair,
playing to it.
fair.
This, I
Yeah,
think,
I
is a
mean,
major tweak
because
that
the
they need
one
to
time she
make.
did cross it and it hit Miedema and almost went into goal.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, exactly. So I think, see, I understand why Egglet set up this way because, sometimes like you have somebody like a Millie Bright, you have Millie Bright as well as Lucy Bronze in the box.
yeah,
Your chance of winning headers then becomes very limited.
yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah,
if you have a Bunny Shaw there.
yeah,
So I understand why they did not use that tactic a little bit more, but I feel like if you put like 10 crosses into the box, Bunny's going to score like one or two. It's just going to
yeah,
happen.
Yeah.
So that might be something City you wanna sort of look at. But yeah, um, a very very exciting game of football. Okay, so moving on to the other semi-final fixture, Ash Arsenal versus Manchester United, finishing 1-0 to United. Elizabeth Turlin scored in the second minute of stoppage time in the first half. Um, what what did you think about this game?
Oh my god, I hated every second of it because it went exactly as I expected it to go, which was, United is sitting deep, playing on the counter, and Arsenal bombing forward with the ball all the time and then doing nothing, absolutely nothing with the final ball. Like, it was horseshoe football max. It was
Yeah,
so frustrating, so frustrating. And the second I saw Pilova on the sheet, I was just like, this is a semi-final. It's a really big game. I do not know if there are fitness issues, but you play Kim Little. Like, I don't care if she's 70%, 80%, 90%. You play Kim Little. She's your stalwart. You don't play Pilova
you
in a
know,
big semi-final.
I
Like,
feel
I
like
was, I was,
I felt two things. One is I thought Pelo was actually pretty good in this game,
yeah,
but also when Kim Little did come on, Arsenal genuinely just looked more threatening, and I don't know
yeah.
what that says about your team. When yes, Kim
At
Little is your
when they had a
star.
player down.
Yeah, exactly. They're a player down, and they still looked more threatening after Kim Little came on. And yeah, I mean that speaks to Kim Little's quality as well as
Yeah.
Arsenal's squad building or the lack
Like,
thereof.
I disagree. I don't think Pilova was good in this game because constantly she was just either passing out to the side or passing out to the back, and I just felt like the reason Arsenal were really good when they were down to 10 is that they were direct. They were at
Hmm.
least trying to score directly. Like,
Yeah,
Blackstenius was on and they were trying to go directly. And I feel like sometimes just hoof it. Like, it's fine, you don't have to be playing beautiful football because it does not look beautiful when you're going in a horseshoe constantly, ball after ball, and nobody's scoring. And Manam, oh my god, Manam, I swear, Manam, I think, uh let me just check. I don't know how many big chances. So Arsenal had two big chances. I feel like both of them were Manam chances. Okay, and they had
yeah.
61% possession against a top four team in the WSL. They did nothing with top five, whatever. They did nothing with it. Like, I'm just, I'm I'm so, like, annoyed by Arsenal. I mean, it's not like I wanted Arsenal to win. To be fair, like, I did predict Arsenal might win, but I was rooting for United the way all the way through because you know how much
Absolutely.
I do dislike Arsenal.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just even I was like, I can't even imagine being an Arsenal fan because I was frustrated and I was not even supporting Arsenal.
But that's the
You
funny
know,
thing, right? Like Arsenal fans are like so used to this. They're
yeah,
like, oh, Champions League win was a blip. Now we're back to our
yeah.
like
Do you think
normal.
Do you reckon so? Like, I know Renee Slegers has a lot of credit in the bank. Winning the Champions League is not no easy feat. But do you feel like there are the murmurings of like discontent?
I mean, they've renewed her contract, and what she signed till like 29 now. So that's
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
big show of faith, so to speak.
yeah,
But yeah, I think this season is it really depends on what the plan is, right? If the
yeah,
plan is you do what you did with like some with Arteta, you give him the
yeah,
time, I mean, you give her the time, the money, and you think of it as a project,
yeah,
then it's fine. Like Arsenal,
yeah,
I think Arsenal have a really good shot at winning that championship cup. That's going to happen this month, next month, whenever it's happening. Um, I think they have a good shot at winning that. And
yeah,
okay, that's your silverware for the season. Like I'm
yeah,
talking like worst case scenario. Like they are still in the
yeah,
FA Cup, they're still in the Champions League. They
yeah. And to be
could
fair, we know that they can do like miracles in the Champions League.
exactly.
So
So I mean, my point is even if it's not a super successful season, like even if they
yeah,
don't win the Champions League, if they win like one trophy or even none but finish well in the WSL, I think if they're gonna think of it, genuinely think of it as a project, then it's fine. Otherwise, just
yeah,
sack her. get somebody you actually believe in or whatever, and just
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, I also wonder, like, in terms of performance, what is a coaching issue and what is down to an individual player? Like, obviously, she cannot get Manam to score. She can only like put Manam in
Yeah,
in terms of the system in places that Manam can score from. Manam has not scored since September, and you were telling me earlier that Ford has scored one goal this year or whatever.
in the season,
But
yeah.
then there is Olivia Smith, okay, and now Olivia Smith, I think, let's put the two fouls aside, are both deserving yellows
Hmm.
personally,
Yeah,
but two or three things happened simultaneously with Olivia Smith, who is their big signing, their marquee signing for the season, which is that Olivia Smith constantly was getting past Sandberg and getting past whichever player she had to beat on that side,
yeah,
and like totally had Sandberg in her pocket. But instead of like beating Sandberg, cutting into the box, driving into the box and shooting, which is ideally what I would want Olivia Smith to be doing, she was like beating Sandberg, going slightly wide and crossing it into either Manam or Russo.
yeah.
And to me, I'm not sure how much of that is Olivia Smith deciding that is the best course of action, and how much of that is Renee Slegers telling her wingers to cross it in, you
Yeah, I
know?
think, when I watch Smith, I feel like there is genuinely this sort of like an identity crisis that's happening in terms of
Yeah,
how she's playing football. Because obviously,
yeah,
when she was playing for Liverpool, she was very direct. Her role was very clear, right?
yeah,
Now, what you want somebody like an Olivia Smith, or what Arsenal want Olivia Smith to do, is to play like an Arsenal player, which is you go
yeah,
out wide, you like facilitate attack, like you create chances, you create assists, right? Now, I feel like the issue with Smith is she's not playing with freedom enough for me, because she has had those moments of brilliance. We've seen it. We've seen
yeah,
it against
yeah,
Liverpool. We've seen it against London City Lionesses. But I feel like you also need to set her up to have those moments as well. That's one point. The other thing is also, you know, cutting inside and shooting in this game, right? I feel like United had packed their box so much. I'm not
yeah,
really sure if she would have actually found the space. So to some
yeah,
extent, Smith actually going, say, to the byline and then like cutting back or crossing felt like there was this really nice. I think that was the Manam chance that she missed. That little chip that she did. That that
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
that was actually really like a really smart ball
Yeah,
in.
from the
Yeah,
byline,
from
no?
the byline,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. So I feel like, and it's fair, she's a young player. She's just moved from Liverpool, where she was like somebody who carried the team, to this new Arsenal team.
yeah,
Yes, she was a marquee signing, but we're gonna see the best of her, say, in the next couple of
yeah.
seasons. It's just that
I mean,
identity crisis that's happening.
to be fair, I will be harsh with her here. I'm generally not harsh on like younger players, but uh I understand that you were being brought down. She was brought
Yeah.
down two or three times at least, I think. And there were yellows handed out, I think, to Zigiotti
And
and to
Sandberg.
Sandberg
Yeah.
for bringing Olivia Smith down. And there were two other semi sort of like contact, not fouls,
Mhm.
but they were not really foul, so it's fine. But it was just like pressure on Olivia Smith. So I can understand that she was frustrated. But when you know you are on a yellow,
Yeah.
and like uh, you are the player that is getting the most into the box and the most possibility of scoring is
Scoring.
you cannot barrel into somebody the way she barreled into, was it Zigiotti? I feel like
Zigiotti,
it
yeah.
was Zigiotti.
Because I remember in the
I
comms they actually said, "Oh, that's like payback sort of a tackle." Because
Payback, yeah.
Zigiotti had,
I felt like it was very immature. Like, you're a
yeah,
professional player. I don't care how young you are. You could be 15, but if you're being a professional player,
yeah,
and she's not that young anymore either. Like, there are players of her, like her ilk, who are like full on defenders, like Sangare and Koga, who
yeah,
have to like barrel into people for a living, and
yeah,
who manage to keep their cool.
yeah,
So, like, I'm sorry, I that sort of petulance loss can lose your team a game, and
yeah,
Arsenal were a person down. That is a disadvantage, no matter how much more likely they look to score after they were a
yeah.
person down.
I think this is something she definitely needs to like think about, and maybe this is like a learning moment for her as well, because you look at other players who get treated this way, right? Like this
Yeah.
treatment, like players who get it are Bunny Shaw, Lauren
Yeah.
James, and Myra Ramirez, like off the top of my head. I'm sure there are a few more. Like of these, I know Lauren James is a player who gets frustrated when she's
Yeah.
not able to get on the ball, when she's fouled, she does get frustrated. But you look at Bunny and Myra, who are slightly more experienced players, like they actually keep their cool. You know, yes, probably Olivia Smith has to do more defensive work than Bunny or Myra Ramirez, because they do, like Olivia Smith does track back quite a bit and she does put in good
Yeah.
defensive
Yeah.
performances. But
Yeah,
I
in this
still,
game as well, the first yellow was from like a strategic foul.
yeah, it was a tactical foul, right? So
Yeah.
I
Technical.
feel like she needs to, yeah, this is probably going to be a learning experience for her. It's unfortunate. I mean, the annoying part about this for Arsenal is that they've lost a game which they maybe could have won if Smith was still on, but also Smith is not available to play against Chelsea in the
Yeah.
weekend, and their only two wingers are Ford and Mead. So,
Yeah.
like Kelly's injured, Smith's obviously out, so they don't have like
Yeah.
wide options. So, like it affects your team in so many different ways. So you really need to keep your head um, in these moments, and it is really hard. It is really hard when you get fouled left, right, and center, and a lot of the times they don't even like those fouls don't even go your way. Like they
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get
To be
called.
in this game, like the referee did
Yeah.
penalize United for the fouls on Olivia Smith. I thought like fair enough penalization happened where I felt like it's not like the refs are ignoring Olivia
Yeah.
Smith being brought down.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this in this game she was getting like knocked around a little bit, but yeah, at some point the ref did put a stop to it. And I feel like,
Yeah,
the funny thing is, if you're a professional footballer, right? Like, yes, you do lose your head, but the fact that Zigiotti just got booked, you
yeah,
like the second yellow for Smith really happens from
yeah,
like the ball that's recycled from the free kick she wins, that
yeah,
Zigiotti
yeah,
foul, and like to me, the fact that she's been booked is enough to calm me down. It should be enough to
yeah,
calm me down. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, hopefully she learns from this. But
yeah.
Ash, what about United? Let's talk a bit.
Okay. United. I mean, to be fair, where the way Arsenal started, I was like, oh my God, Arsenal are in a mood. United
Yeah.
don't stand a chance. But like United, like really held their cool, like held on to like their frustrations, and when they went, they went. Like
Hmm.
they literally had just like two chances. There was that one chance by Turland, and then I think there was another chance by like Mallard, if I'm
Hmm.
not wrong.
Oh yes, I do remember the
Um,
Mallard chance. Yeah.
yeah, so like there were like two or three decent chances, and I thought that Wangerheim, their new
Hmm.
signing, looked pretty sharp, like decent. I can't say much because half the time that they were in their own box, in their own half, but in their own box only actually. But Turland, had a shot, took a shot. She made a little bit of a fuss for a penalty that wasn't.
Hmm.
To be fair to her, I would have done the same.
Yeah.
Um, like Jade Riviere, I thought had a really good game against four. Like she, I think, got uh, the better of Ford two or three times. So I thought that was a fun battle to watch.
Hmm.
But overall, like I think they had a very simple game plan. Like they had the same game plan they had in the last game, except that
Last two
it worked
games.
this time.
uh,
Like
yeah, I mean, if
I
the
don't
season has
know.
taught us anything, it's just that like United Arsenal games are just like no,
Oh
run
my
away
god! Like
as far as possible, as fast as possible.
they did nothing. They had like 39% possession, like they had 79% pass accuracy. uh, they had, to be fair, they had four shots on target, so
Yeah.
that's more than
To
I thought they
Arsenal's
did.
three, right?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, to Arsenal's three, despite the fact that Arsenal had 21 shots. Oh my god, to United six.
Yeah.
21 shots, only three were on target. That's just criminal. Okay, back to United.
Yeah.
I thought that the lots of like tactical fouling from United as well. Like they just played a very smart knockout tournament game,
Yeah.
and I think that will. I feel like Skinner is the man to get them to finals. He is
Mm.
good at being that really like conservative manager who gets the job done.
Uh-huh.
I wanted more from like Jess Park. Ahuja, of course, was like awarded for the last two games by with a start, and like did really
Mm.
well in this game as well. And I wanted more from Park. I wanted more from Miyazawa. Zigiotti, of course, had a good defensive performance.
Yeah.
Uh, Letizier had a really good defensive performance. There was this one block that Letizier made. Now I can't remember who she was blocking, but it was a
Yeah.
really good block.
Yeah.
So Sandberg, I thought, was the worst of the defenders because, as I said, Olivia Smith kept getting past her.
Mm.
But Talis Joyce had a really good performance as well. Managed to like save the few shots that Arsenal sent in towards her.
Yeah.
Managed to calm the game down by claiming the ball. A
Yeah.
lot of
Did
like
you hear Arsenal
base.
fans counting in the background?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Oh my God, it was really funny. I mean, I'll be honest, it was also the conditions did suit United. It was cold, it was rainy, it was not
Yeah.
suited for like possession based tippy tappy
Yeah.
football.
Small
You,
pass.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you
It's
just needed
funny.
to be.
This seems to keep happening to Arsenal at Meadow Park. They keep
Yeah.
playing there in the somehow it ends up raining, and then they're like, "Oh, it doesn't suit
Yeah.
our style of football,"
Yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
fair enough.
ideally
Yeah,
they should have been played in the Emirates, but whatever.
yeah. It is what it is, but yeah, I mean that
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it's really disappointing because you don't want to watch a game where this
Yeah.
like a team has like 20 plus shots and like not
Yeah.
score a goal. It's
I
just
mean, I was a little disappointed with Borba as well because passing out from the back, that was just diabolical, where Turlin scored. I was just like, but then it happens. Goalkeepers make these sort of mistakes. The team has to
yeah.
like get together and do
Absolutely.
something
I
about it.
mean, she was responsible for one goal, right? If
Yeah.
your team cannot score an equalizer, forget about a winner.
Yeah.
But like an
Yeah.
equalizer, I think like you need to take a hard look at yourself. Like the attack in your team needs
Yeah.
to like really take a hard look at themselves. I just I'm personally really glad that Arsenal don't win that game because if we had gone to the
Yeah.
finals to face Arsenal, we would 100% lose to Arsenal. With United, I feel like we have a better shot at like
No,
winning.
you would not lose to. Like, have you seen this Arsenal team cannot score? Like,
Have
they
you
have not
seen the
scored
number
in
of
like.
times we've lost to Arsenal in a League Cup final, Ash? Have you seen?
But this Arsenal team cannot score, guy. Like nobody is scoring. I swear, Manam. I like you could have played for another 90 minutes and Manam would not score. And
Yeah,
why is it that somehow like maybe Manam's positioning and movement is really good, but like why is it that Manam was the person always in like of course Russo also missed like two opportunities, but like more often than not, Manu was in the goal scoring position, and it was annoying the hell out of me because I was like, "Can you all just switch it up?"
yeah,
And then when Blackstenius came on as well, like I didn't think that they were direct. Like they were slightly more direct because they were like a person down, but I thought that they could have like just lobbed more balls into the box.
yeah. I have a question for you, and maybe we'll close with this one. Um, so I want to preface this by saying, like, I am personally a big fan of Alessia Russo. Uh,
Yeah,
I think she's really sometimes she doesn't get the credit she deserves for the things that she does. I genuinely think like finishing is unfortunately not her best strength. Like she's a good finisher, but it's probably not her best strength. So I'm just I have a I just have a question. Do you think we're giving too much of leeway to Russo for not scoring enough?
I think that what Arsenal need is something very similar to what City have, which is that they have Bunny Shaw and Miedema. So, like, if Russo is somebody who's like a 9.5, right? Because yes, Russo is the striker, but Russo's also doing a lot of like hold up play, defensive work, a lot of like creation work, etc. And last season, I think Manam had like a bunch of goals because Manam was playing behind Russo and putting those shots away. Because
Yeah.
eventually, like I said in this game also, the person who finds themselves in that situation where Russo is creating and turning and holding in the goal scoring position is the person behind Russo. So I think they needed like a player like Miedema behind Bunny Shaw to
Hmm.
be that person who puts it in. And
And they sold her.
unfortunately, and they sold her. And unfortunately, Manam in that last season was that person, but this season has not been that person. And
Hmm.
like they have to figure out a 10 that can score because I do think that Russo is like in some senses a complete striker.
Hmm.
I mean, yes, her finishing can improve from where it is, but it is already one of the better ones in the WSL. Like I would say her finishing is like better than Turland also this like
Yeah.
last like so as a WSL striker, she's a good finisher. Like she's not Bunny Shaw levels, but
Yeah.
she's a good finisher. And she has technical ability, she has hold up play, she has physicality. So there is just so much going in favor of Russo. And I don't think like even in the last 2 3 games when Arsenal have been playing like crap, the only player I felt like was really trying was Russo.
Yeah.
And I felt that in this game as well. Yes, she did not put those 2 shots that she had to bed, and ideally that's what you want from your striker. But strikers miss all the time. Nobody is complaining about Bunny Shaw missing these 2 opportunities where she was through on goal because other
Yeah.
people step up. Whereas in Russo's case, the reason it's so noticeable is like because nobody else has stepped up.
Is yeah, the goals have sort of dried up as well. Yeah, I mean, I feel like every time we talk about Arsenal's problem, we
Yeah,
kind of like you're talking about a 10 who can score. A 10 who can
yeah,
score is Mariona Caldente, right?
yeah.
And where is Mariona playing? 8. So what do Arsenal need?
Yeah,
They need an 8.
yeah.
It's
True,
literally
true.
we keep circling back to Arsenal needing a 6/8 pretty much
Yeah,
every other episode of this podcast.
yeah.
But as that, I think, brings us to the end of this episode. So I forgot to remind everybody, but I will do so now, which is do subscribe to the channel if you already have not, and do let us know what you thought of the two semifinals and what you think the outcome of the final will look like. Ash and I will be back in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow, with our WSL weekend preview because I mean games are coming thick and fast, guys. So Arsenal are going to Stamford Bridge on Saturday, so we'll put out the preview for that game soon. So keep your eyes peeled. Thank you for listening, and bye bye.